Canada used to be the stalwart of the world. It was one of the Five Eyes: Britain, Australia, New Zealand, United States, Canada. They were all into the big security agreements. And in the last 10 or 15 years, Canada has fallen off the edge of the flat earth. It's no longer trusted. It's no longer part of the big security issues and organizations of the world. And we're going to find out why, because my guest is Joe Adam George. He is a national security analyst with the Macdonald Laurier Institute. And I'm going to read this off because I want to get it right. You're the research head on radical Islam threat in Canada with the Middle East Forum. Did I get that right?
That's right.
Well, I read it off, so of course it's right. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What I just said about Canada being, post-war, we were, without any doubts. And now there are lots of doubts. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Why?
I would say it stemmed initially from the Trudeau era in the last decade, where we have seen Canada being, working in the shadows, or rather being kept in the shadows by our allies. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that despite being provided with intelligence to deal with our problems, internal problems, we have failed to do so. I'll give you an example. Back in 2008, the Obama DEA, that is the Drug Enforcement Agency, warned the RCMP, or rather flagged them, about the activities of Hezbollah in Canada with regard to money laundering and drug smuggling, especially fentanyl.
Right.
So this has nothing to do, by the way, because I know fentanyl is now the talk of the town because of the Trump administration. It had nothing to do with Trump. It was first flagged back in 2008.
By Obama.
Correct, the Obama administration. But the RCMP sat on it, doing nothing virtually for about 10 years. This was reported by the Global News by Sam Cooper. You can look it up in 2019, a report about this, an extensive report. They did little about it. And it's not just the Hezbollah that was involved. It was the Mexican drug cartels, the Chinese mafia, Khalistanis, you name it.
Was this the fault then of the RCMP, or was it fault of the political leaders who, RCMP say, we deal with the law and order, but political leaders do tell them what they can focus on and what not to focus on?
Absolutely. What I hear from speaking with several intelligence officers, both past and present, is that there is definitely meddling on the part of the government when it comes to national security matters. And
why would the Canadian government then not want to deal with the bad guys, would not want to deal with the bad guys, whether it be Mexican or Middle East or wherever they come from?
It's a lot of it boils down to vote bank politics, because take, for example, the issue of radical Islam in the country. That is a growing problem. It is no reason why the RCMP just last month reported a 488% increase in terrorism charges in Canada in the last 1 year. Are we doing anything about it? Not really.
Well, if the terrorism charges increased in Canada, then we are starting to do something about it, aren't we? Isn't that evidenced by the charges?
Well, the charges, a lot of it is thanks to the intelligence provided by our allies, like the Americans, the French, for example. If it wasn't for the French and the Americans last year, we couldn't have thwarted the ISIS father and son plot. So there is a lot of the credit goes to our allies, and which is why we are. So if the terrorism charges are being placed, that's a wonderful thing. But the problem is we are only dealing with the symptoms. We are not dealing, with what the root cause, which is Islamic fundamentalism in Canada, and that's
when you say Islamic. The root cause is Islamic fundamentalism in Canada. Is that because Islamic fundamentalism in Canada is a criminal organization?
No,
are they there to make money, or are they there to convert people to their religion?
The group that I'm referring to is the Muslim Brotherhood. This is a transnational Sunni organization, a movement that is a shadowy network across the world. It's supported by Turkey and Qatar. It's got tens of thousands of members around the world. The problem with the Muslim, why the West finds it so difficult to deal with the Muslim Brotherhood is because Unlike its more violent counterparts like ISIS and Al Qaeda, they don't deal with violence per se.
On that note, we're going to take a quick break because I want to get all the dirt on this one and get all the facts out right back after this.